What's happening all? It is the 23rd of July. Back in my place, getting some things figured out. Look where the market's going. It looks like our run upward has kind of deflated just a little bit. We'll get into that here in a minute. Existing home sales. So homes that are already existing, resales, basically. There's anticipation of a certain number. It came in quite a bit lower than that. So not moving quite as fast as what one had anticipated based upon the inventory that's available. Other thing that'll affect you as a real estate investor, and really anybody in real estate, is what's going on in the state of California. State Farm is seeking permission from the state government to increase insurance as much as 50%. They're raising homeowners insurance policies by 30%, condo policies by 36%, and renters policies by 52%. Significant, guys, significant. So if you're renting in California, you get punched pretty freaking hard. Why is that? Well, think about just the cost of living altogether. Think about the cost of rebuilding, reconstruction, damage that is done by renters, right? All those things, the theft that's happening in that state, the fact that you walk down some of those streets and see signs says anything above it was like 900 and some bucks, $950 or whatever it is punishable. Anything under that they can just steal because of the rampant just crap that's going on in that state. Look what the insurance companies have to do. That, from what I understand, there's a lot of insurance companies that pulled out completely. So there's a problem brewing over there that could spill out elsewhere. So we also have, just by the sheer cost to reconstruct or deal with damage to a home, insurance prices are going up across the board. We also have what we talked about before, that Fannie and Freddie are saying you have to insure replacement value on your house when you finance it with a conventional loan. Why is that? They're not going to be responsible when you lose equity. Before, we get away with just insuring the loan, making sure there was enough to pay off the loan if there's complete loss to the house, but people's equity are lost at that point. Then you have people want to sue. The lender didn't tell me I need to protect myself. Well, now you're saying you have to protect yourself. Another thing, home prices gone up 54% since 2019. 5 years, 54%. That's over 10% per year. If you've not been in the game since the pandemic, thought, oh, I'm going to wait and see if the rates settle down or whatever, you're losing. You should be in this game. I know a lot of people that sat on the sidelines for a long time over the last few years, thinking that something was going to shift, and they're just getting punched hard. Invested in some things they should have. Now they're getting punched really, really freaking hard. No, not real good. Not good at all. This remainder of this week, we've got new home sales coming in tomorrow. We've got initial claims coming on the 25th, continuing claims on the 25th, durable orders. We've also got personal income coming in on the 26th, and PCE, another heavy reading for inflation. We'll see where that leads us. Let's take a look at what's going on in the charts and how that is being affected right now. Let me see here. This will be the 5.5, which I like to look at quite a bit. So you see we reached up, bridged about the gap from that support, or at least that resistance that felt was a pretty heavy resistance for a long time here. We're coming off of that and get yanked down below it. So we made it about halfway between resistance and the overall resistance. So this is now going to be support somewhat. Then we've got the overall resistance, which is what the value of the security was before quantitative easing. We reached that middle ground and we've traced back. So now we're following the it looks like the 14-day moving average right there, 15-day moving average, somewhere in there. So that's going to be kind of our support at the moment, unless there's news that pushes us below it, and we're going back to that line here. Let's take a look over at, let me see here. Let's take a look at, this is our 6.5. This is where most people are going to be locked a real estate investor loan. Same thing, bridge that gap right between them, or we jumped up between them. We were right to the middle, and that's where we're holding. We got a little bit negative also on the moving average. This is where our support is, continuing to ride that moving average. I think that we get some heavy news later on this week. We'll also take a look at what Patrick keeps pointing out. We got the 10-year. This is the level that they're trying to break below the 10-year. Get below this is where you start seeing those better interest rates, but it is very, very strong. It's hammering it. There's got to be something significant to force that to break on any of these to make us see better interest rates that we're seeing now. I'm really thinking we're pretty well topped out. Worst case, I mean, this is Aaron Chapman's estimation. I think the best that we will see interest rate wise, so we get up to here, hit that again. But we also know when you look at this particular layout with Sean's breakdown of things, we're hitting this block. This is where a lot of orders are sitting, and that is forcing it back down too. So I think we've pretty much steamed out, but it's possible to move it other way. This is a very emotional process that goes into moving these interest rates around and who puts their money where based upon where they believe they can get the greatest return on investment. So that's the best I can give you at the moment. We'll just see how it all plays out. If you're in a position where you should be considering locking, I would be locking because there's too much technical data forcing it back to the negative, pushing interest rates up. That's just what I would do. You do what you want to do. You're the CEO of your real estate investment business. Talk to you on Friday.